at Toastmasters. He's performed professionally at the Tempe Improv and Scottsdale Live. So quit touching yourselves inappropriately. Put your hands together for Kevin Maxwell!
Toastmasters Comedy Night? Are you kidding me? Who thought of this idea? Brilliant! Give it up. Hey, listen, just real quick before we get started. I know some of you are in Toastmasters, some of you are not. By a round of applause, how many Toastmasters people we have here tonight? And how many non-Toastmasters? Great. Hey, you know what? Everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming out. Listen, I have a question for the Toastmasters people because I'm kind of new to Toastmasters. Do you ever have to explain what Toastmasters is to some of your friends? Is that kind of hard? It's kind of easy because Toastmasters has been around for a long time and got a lot of name recognition. It's pretty easy, but every once in a while you get that one person they're like, you know, they can't see it, and so I'm telling my dumbass friends the other day about what Toastmasters is, and they looked at me and they're like, hey Kevin, I know you're kind of a foodie, but do you think it's a good idea to brag about your ability to make hot, crusty bread? Really? I mean, what comes next when you graduate from Toastmasters? You become a bagel king or something like that? You know, what's up with that? Like, hey, check this guy out over here. He's calling himself a Toastmaster. How about Muffin Masters, more like it? Yeah, you know, Duke of Donuts or something. Call yourself that. So anyway, I'm from Northwest Arkansas. That's where my kinfolk live. That's what we say. And I'm back there. You know, my brothers are small business owners, and I'm telling them about the benefits of Toastmasters because I think they can help them out with their professional development. So I'm trying to get them to go to a meeting, and they're like, I don't know if I want to go. So I said, you know what? We'll go to a Toastmasters meeting together. I'll go with you. So I go to a Toastmasters meeting in Arkansas, right? And I was pretty surprised because I thought it was going to be like the same, but it was radically different. And I thought, I don't understand that. And I started thinking about it for a little bit, and after I thought about it, it made sense a little bit. Hey, look, you got to play the cards you're dealt, right? When the average education of your members is 4th grade, you got to make do. Right? Let me give a little example. We all work out of the Competent Communicator Manual, right? Back there, they have something different. They call it Dick and Jane for the Boss Man. Right? My brothers will look at me like, hey, why do you want to be in Toastmasters for? So you can walk around and say them big words all the time, say the big fancy words? I'm like, no. We like to use the English language correctly, that's for sure, but it's more about becoming a more effective communicator. It's like, effective communicator? I communicate just fine, my boot up in your ass right there. Yeah, my message is loud and clear. Listen to that. Hey, listen. My message is not ambiguous at all. How about that, Mr. Bagel King? Think that's a big word for you? I guess Toastmasters is really not for everybody. Hey, you know what? I'm a new Toastmaster, and you know what's been fun for me to know is, like, who the Toastmasters in the past then went on to, like, have some celebrity or some, you know, some notoriety, right? And so I didn't know that, so I started looking up on the internet, and I found this out. Now, you guys may know this to be true, but this is new information to me. I did not know that Jimmy Stewart was in Toastmasters. Did you know that? Jimmy Stewart? Jimmy Stewart was in Toastmasters in the 30s. I had no idea. The rule also goes that I guess that Jimmy Stewart, he almost quit acting because of a bad experience he had in Toastmasters. Yeah, I guess that he got his script for Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and he thought he'd do it in front of the Toastmasters, and he had a little run-in with the off-counter. He's like, you know, Mr. President, excuse me, Mr. President, the Congress and the people, what do we, you know, stop ringing that bell. You know, the federal government needs to stand on the people's law. You're making me nervous now. Quit doing that. Sorry about that. That Jimmy Stewart's not great. It's more of a mashup between old Jimmy Stewart, Johnny Carson, and maybe a little Garrison Keillor thrown in there. Anyway. Hey, but you know, Toastmasters is fun though. Hey, the functionary roles are what my favorite part is. Do you like the functionary roles? You know, it's fun, right? You know, don't you think that the functionary roles, you like them to be enthusiastic, but maybe they can be a little overzealous sometimes. Have you noticed that? Overzealous? It's possible. You know, for example, like we're talking about the odd counter for a minute. You know, they say in the manual that to be a good odd counter, you want to look directly at the bell and really not listen to the speaker because it helps you. That's a good tip for sure. But I never really see anything in the manual that talks about taunting. You know? If you're the odd counter, and you have to like put eye black on and get all loosened up, right? I'm gonna be the counter today. Like, woo, woo, ha, yeah, high five, high five. Oh yeah, you know, I don't need that for my counter. I'll tell you, it's a little overzealous. You know, the other functionary role that can be a little overzealous is the grammarian, right? You know, can we get a grammarian's report, please? Yes, the grammarian doth now speak. Speaker number 1, the past form of the word shake is shook. Therefore, your sentence, she shook with fear, she shake with fear, is incorrect. And speaker number 2, we only use the conjunctive form of adverbs in this club. Speaker number 3, when did you ever learn to conjugate your verbs? Hey, Shakespeare, Shakespeare. It's an icebreaker speech. Back off just a little bit. It's crazy, isn't it? Hey, listen, I'm a technology professional by daytime, and, thank you. So my friends all think that I'm a computer geek, and all the hardcore geeks I work with, they think I'm just one of the suits, right? So I kind of live in this transitional world. I work with geeks that are so dweeby and so socially inept that to them, I'm a chick magnet. I know. It's literally my job twice a day to walk down the hall, open a door, and toss in Hot Pockets and Red Bull. Hey, speaking of Hot Pockets and nutrition, you know I have something called gout. You ever heard of that? Gout? Yes, when you eat a bunch of really bad food, get acid in your body, it attacks the joints in your feet. It's extremely painful. What they say about gout is they say that King Henry VIII used to have it. Yeah, King Henry VIII. You know why? Because apparently he ate a lot of rich foods like red wine and steak and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, rich foods, why do I have gout? All my meals come right off the dollar menu. Every one of them. So I told you I was from Arkansas. I went home recently, and you know how when you go home for the holidays, there's always that one relative that comes out of the woodwork, you only see him once a year. It's always really awkward to speak to him and stuff like that, you know. For me, it's my Uncle Leroy. He comes out of the woodwork at hills wearing overalls and a big old hat. Leroy comes down, I never know what to talk to him about. It's always a bit awkward. This year, he really, really surprised me. He came to me and said, hey, Kevin, guess what? I'm all into that social media. I said, social media? I didn't even know you had a computer. That's fantastic. Let me tell you all about it. He said, I was at a bank the other day, and these boys come to me robbing a bank, see? I seen the whole thing. So the police asked me to come down the police station, take a look at some pictures of people who've done some crime. I said, oh, so they were having a look at some mugshots, huh? What does that have to do with social media? He said, didn't I spend on telling you about looking at that near Facebook? Oh, I got it. Yeah, Facebook. He said, the detective said, picture Leroy here. This picture here fits the exact description of a person that you see leaving the crime. Hey, Leroy, what do you think about this picture here? And Leroy goes, I like. Oh, you like the picture in Facebook. I got it. That's pretty good. Leroy's like, you know, I got this dog. It's hunting season, so I got me a new hunting dog. And guess what I named my new hunting dog? I've heard hunting dog. Twitter. So, oh, you named your hunting dog Twitter? Brilliant. He said, yeah, Twitter's a good dog and all, but you know, he's a little puppy. He'd run off all the time. So we had to build a big old fence around the house. I said, oh, you had to build a fence, huh? He said, yeah, Twitter likes to run off. You call him? You know where we're all now? We're all LinkedIn. Come on. Listen, so Leroy told me, he said, times are hard, the economy's bad, times are hard, but especially down the farm, we had to cut back. All the ladies had to cut back on the lady products. We're sharing tampons now. What? You're sharing tampons? That's not good. You know what we call that? We call that Groupon. Hey, great, right? Hey, speaking of Groupon, you guys get the Groupon offers? Did you sign up for Groupon? It's a good deal, isn't it? Do you remember how back in the beginning of days, all the Groupon offers were the same? So the conversation was like, did you get the Groupon offer? Did you buy the Groupon offer today? Things like that. But now, as they moved on, they got a little more sophisticated. So now the offers are customized to your buying habits and what you purchased in the back. So now all our Groupon offers are all different. So now the conversation is a little more like this, like, hey, Susie, what'd you get today? And Susie's like, I got 50% off a dozen roses. What'd you get, Kelly? Hey, Kelly got a 50% off a day at the spa. Isn't that fantastic? Hey, Kevin, what'd you get? Let's see here. 50% off a bikini wax with vagina sculpting. I bought 2 of them. Fantastic. Anyway, hey, you have a lot of great comments coming out to you tonight. Thank you so much for coming to this event. Great to see you out here. Thank you very much. My name's Kevin Maxwell.
Hey, give it up for Kevin, man. All right. You know, if you ain't nice to these people up here, I'm going to have to send my cousin Guido and Vinny in here with their baseball bats. They're pre-med students and